When should a couple in a relationship or a marriage go to a therapist or a counselor? Are there times that you should do so? Of course there are. I think a lot of people with a little bit of information and a little bit of direction can typically do it themselves. That's why I wrote the book, Do It Yourself, Marriage and Relationship Counseling. But there are times when you run into situations where you find things you didn't expect, when the problem is larger than you anticipated, when it's so close that you can't see objectively what to do as an individual or as a couple. Many, many years ago, when I was young in my 20s, I had a sewer back up in our house, and my mom, who happened to be visiting, was there, and she had some experience with plumbing from her growing up years, and we went and got a sewer snake, which you run into those pipes at the top of your house to try to run through all your sewer pipes out to the street and clear them out and open up any backup. Well, we started to do that and couldn't figure out what was going on, and finally she said, let's go under the house and see if there are any openings under there. And under the house, we found the large pipe where all the drains in the house drain to and then go out to the street. She said, let's open that up and run the sewer snake through there. Oh, I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything. And I guess my mom knew a little bit more than I did. But we opened it up a little by little, and she's about 5-6 feet away from me with a flashlight aimed at this pipe, and I've got this big wrench undoing it. And as I'm undoing it, I hear this hissing sound, and it's getting louder, louder hissing, louder sucking sound, and finally the pipe just blows off. The cap blows off the end of the pipe and just hoses me with all of this raw sewage and stuff we had washed down the drain that was under pressure for the last day or so. Just completely covered us up. Well, we probably should have called someone to help figure it out when we couldn't figure out the basic parts of it, instead of opening up that mess under the house and causing all that stuff to spew out. I had to clean it all out later. Eventually we got it fixed. Nonetheless, my point is this. Sometimes you do open up a can of worms or a sewage pipe full of things or a marriage issue that is larger than you possibly imagined it could be. Should you go to a counselor or a therapist? Yeah, there are times you should do so. And in the book, I walk through different principles to follow, things to do and consider as you're looking for a therapist or a counselor. Isn't always straightforward, isn't always easy to find somebody. You can figure it out. You can use those ideas I left in the book to find yourself a good therapist, a good counselor who will walk with you through those tough problems and help make it better, not make it worse. You can do this.